We're starting to see that eye wall, like he's just said, making landfall possibly into North Carolina here, which is starting to put some of our area on the backside of this system. We're getting a better idea here. This is where we're seeing that circulation here. It's right along the shoreline. We're just talking here about the potential for some circulation with some of these shores, some of these storms offshore. So we're looking at a time frame from about 5 a.m. to about 11 a.m. in the morning. Well, if you're searching for a little early preview of spring, we've got that on the way for you this week. But if you're still a fan of a little more winter, don't worry. I've got that in the 10-day forecast for you as well. I will caution you that it all is dependent on how far south that front drops. If it drops a little bit further south, some of you are going to get stuck in the 60s in the northern parts of the PD. It is a winter wonderland out here this morning. Very different from what we saw last weekend for a lot of you, especially out at the beaches where you're getting snow. Not that I've ever thought about how elephants actually sleep, but seeing them sleep like that.
On the side?
Yeah, like the big massive elephants just right on their side.
Well, it's because my dad did it so much growing up.
Playing with gators.
Yeah.
Really?
Pick them up by the tail.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you guys are around them a lot more in Florida.
I don't know.
We got a lot going on in the next couple of days, believe it or not, weather-wise, even though it's warm overall. We've got this cold front that we're watching here back off to our west. It's going to drop into the area tomorrow as a backdoor cold front, and that's going to actually provide a pretty big temperature divide for us tomorrow. So we're looking at a cool air wedge up across North Carolina, even northern parts of the PD, whereas down to the south, it's going to be a little bit warmer. Overall today, everyone's nice and warm. This front does provide just enough moisture that we may see an isolated shower inland late this afternoon into the overnight hours tonight, maybe into tomorrow as well. But then it lifts back up as a warm front on Friday, so we're talking near record highs as we head into the day on Friday. But watch this cold front back behind that. That moves through Friday night. By the time it gets here, it's lost its moisture, so not expecting any rain out of that particular front, but it does usher in that cooler air for the weekend. Then we watch a development of a coastal low during the day on Saturday into the day on Sunday, and that provides our rain chance into the day on Sunday. And another shot of reinforcing cold air comes through as we head into the day on Monday, giving us a cooler start to next week as well. So today we're focused on those temperatures that are above normal by about 15 to 20 degrees. We're looking at temperatures this morning starting out in the mid 50s to the low 60s. By 8 o'clock, mid 60s here. By the time we get to the lunch hour, we're nearing 70 degrees. And I do think we're going to reach 75 this afternoon out at the beaches, which is 5 degrees warmer than yesterday. At inland, you're going to near 80 degrees this afternoon. Your normal daytime high is 62 this time of year. And we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds as we head throughout the day ahead. Again, just that slight chance for an isolated shower today inland. Then tonight, temperatures drop back down to around 60. And tomorrow is when that temperature forecast is pretty tricky, thanks to that backdoor cold front. Notice we've got mid 70s down here across southern parts of the PD, low 70s out at the beaches, but then up through the border belt, your afternoon highs are going to be in the mid 60s. I will caution you that it all is dependent on how far south that front drops. If it drops a little bit further south, some of you are going to get stuck in the 60s in the northern parts of the PD. If it's a little bit further to the north, those temperatures in the border belt could be a little bit warmer. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow morning as we kind of get a better handle on how far south that could get. Another warm day on Friday, and then the bottom falls out as we head into the day on Saturday, dropping back into the low 60s. We're talking 50s for highs on Sunday and Monday, and then gradually warming back to those 60s by Tuesday. We've got a powerful cold front headed our way into the day tomorrow. You can see that back off to our west with this line of snow stretching from the Midwest back into the Great Plains, even into north parts of Texas there. And then we have this area of low pressure developing here in the Gulf of Mexico, and you can see that rain there. So these two things are going to kind of come together over the next 24 hours to bring us this severe potential as we head into the morning hours of your Saturday. So we're looking at a time frame from about 5 a.m. to about 11 a.m. in the morning. morning. And that's when we have the best chance to see some of these strong to severe thunderstorms across the area. Now, as we look ahead to tomorrow morning, isolated tornadoes are possible across the entire area. But the thing we're most focused on, not that tornadoes aren't certainly dangerous, but we're looking at the higher possibility of seeing damaging straight line wind gusts. And that could still do a lot of damage, even if it's not in a rotating storm. So we're concerned with the wind effects here as this system passes through. And notice how high that wind potential is. We have a lot of wind energy in the atmosphere to work with. A very strong low level jet moving over to the area with that wind energy up into the high to extreme category throughout the morning hours on your Saturday. And even into the afternoon, we're still looking at those winds gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour behind the front. So there's a lot of wind energy associated with this very powerful cold front. What we're lacking in is the instability, but it doesn't take much when you have this much wind energy to tap into some of those thunderstorms and pull it down to the surface. And that's why we're most concerned with the potential for those damaging straight line winds. So as we talk timing on this, again, this is a morning event. I'm starting out this morning because there is a chance for rain into the afternoon today. Mostly cloudy this morning, and then by about 2-3 o'clock, we start to see a cluster of showers and thunderstorms work their way up from the southwest. Now, I'm not expecting severe weather this afternoon, but we may hear a rumble of thunder mixing in as well overnight or through the afternoon and evening hours. It does look like we'll get a little bit of a lull here as we head into the very early hours of your Saturday. But then again, by the time we get to 5 o'clock, things start to pick back up, and you can see that line working its way in, really starting to arrive between 6 and 7, and then getting to the coast between 9 and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then clearing out. And behind that, we're going to see some very cold conditions as temperatures really start to plummet down into the 20s for overnight lows. So in terms of the temperatures, it's also a very tricky forecast here. Overnight lows tonight in the upper 50s, low 60s, which we'll likely see in the evening. Then temperatures slowly warm overnight tonight to the mid 60s tomorrow morning. Once that front passes through, though, we drop into the afternoon. So temperatures by the afternoon are going to be in the 40s, and then we continue to tumble down into the 20s for morning lows as we head into Sunday morning. And believe it or not, those are not record lows. Talking mid to upper 20s for those lows. Even out at the beaches, it's just very cold, though, even for this time of year, but not atypical to see that. Temperatures on Sunday afternoon warming into the only into the upper 40s to low 50s, so it's going to be a cool day. And then you notice by next week we've rebounded highs back into the 60s and 70s. Slight rotation out over the coast here with a couple of potential water spouts, rotating storms there off the coast of Horry County that we're going to pay attention to. But as of right now, we have no warnings on land. Just a couple of things we're kind of watching to make sure that they don't pivot onto land and become tornadic. We do still have that tornado watch in effect through 9 o'clock this morning for Horry, Florence, Marion, as well as Georgetown counties. That's going to start to taper off again, really starting right now, and then continue to die down from here. So we've got about another hour or so of that higher alert. But again, once that stronger band starts to pivot up out of the area, we start to lose some of that severe potential. As we take a look at what's going with our future cast here, we're going to see the heaviest of the rain working its way into North Carolina here over about the next 2 hours, and then it really starts to die down behind that. We do have a tornado warning here. The Ed is just now coming into. Ed is going to take over the radar here and help me out with this, and let's see where exactly we have a tornado warning. This is going to be actually right here, including Myrtle Beach. This is going to include North Myrtle Beach as well, back into the Carolina Forest area. And since you heard, I don't know if you heard Ed's phone going off, but that's because that includes our area right here where the station is located in Conway. So this is the rotating storm here as Ed's going to pull this in for me here. We are seeing this rotation here, and it's going to be right here. There in Murrells Inlet is what we've been watching for. Again, we were just talking about some of that rotation out off the coast here to pivot inland. And we've got this rotation with this storm here in Murrells Inlet, and that is lifting, it appears, up to the northeast here, and that's right along 17 where we're watching that potential rotation. Now, Ed, is this radar indicated?
Yes, it is a radar indicated tornado. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Garden City, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So that literally is right in through here, right where you see this action. Let me go ahead and, I don't think my microphone is on, is it?
You are.
I am on. Okay.
Yes, correct.
I just wanted to make sure
So we can hear
that.
you right there.
Okay, so you can clearly see here. I just need to pull up the tool here and show you exactly what I'm talking about.
So we've got this area away from the radar here and then towards the radar. Simon, it is a winter wonderland out here this morning. Very different from what we saw last weekend for a lot of you, especially out at the beaches where you're getting snow instead of the ice. I live down on Pawleys Island, so last weekend we just got an icing over everything. We didn't get to enjoy this white fluffy stuff, so this is awesome to see. You can see it's still falling from the sky. The snowflake's a little bit smaller than they have been over the last couple of hours. Just now it started to pick up a little bit more, but we saw a good round of snow about 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning come through Conway, and you can see here behind me that's accumulating on the grass. Now when you go to pick it up, it's not a lot. We're talking about maybe 1/4 of an inch to at most 1/2 inch of snow here in Conway. Notice though, this is all accumulating on the grass, whereas the sidewalks and the parking lot here behind me, it's just wet. Temperatures hovering around the freezing mark means that we're not going to see major travel issues out there, maybe just some slick spots over the overpasses and bridges. But this is a beautiful winter system for us. This is what we like to see, where we don't have any of those icy issues that we have to deal with. It's just this nice, beautiful snow. And we're seeing so many of your pictures here across the area. Remember to send those to us, Twitter, Facebook. Hit us up on WPDE.com, the Chime In tab. We want to see the snow wherever you are across our area here this morning. Simon?